Hi, I'm Steve Murphy, and welcome to the Insider Exclusive. Today, we have some headline legal news concerning the execution murder of Philadelphia police officer Danny Faulkner and his convicted killer, Mumia. Stay tuned.
People have glommed on to Mumia Abu-Jamal and have made him somewhat of a hero, of an icon, of a martyr. Mumia Abu-Jamal Day, let's free Mumia Abu-Jamal. Let's make this day in honor of this murderer. There's been such a worldwide movement to free Mumia Abu-Jamal, and he's nothing but a murderer. I just think so often people forget about the victims.
Right.
My husband was 25 years old. He was a young police officer. We had our whole life to live together. And that night, I kissed him goodbye, never to see him again. I've been spit upon, screamed at. Through the years, they vilified my husband. And I will not allow that to happen. I will continue to speak out. My husband's voice has been taken from him, yet Mumia Abu-Jamal still lives and his voice is still heard. I have rage. I have anger, and I feel weak. I feel like my legs could collapse when I look at him.
Does he look at you?
Yes, he has. Yes, he has looked at me, and I've looked at him.
I'm very pleased today to have with me Maureen Faulkner. Welcome to the show.
Thank you, Steve. Thanks for having me.
You have been on a mission over the last 26 years to make sure that the killer of your husband gets what he was due, to be convicted. He was convicted, but to be executed as a jury sentenced him 25 years ago, right?
Yes, that is correct.
Would you tell us a little bit about these trials and tribulations? He's been on death row 25 years, correct? Why
Yes,
hasn't he
has.
been executed yet?
Well, because people like in 1992, the defense attorney Leonard Weinglass took on this case and went around the world and started to tell misinformation about the case, lies about the case. And people have glommed on to Mumia Abu-Jamal and have made him somewhat of a hero, of an icon, of a martyr. And there's been such a worldwide movement to free Mumia Abu-Jamal, and he's nothing but a murderer.
So your book kind of explains why his conviction should stand, A,
Absolutely.
and why he should be executed, which is what a jury decided, what was it, 1983?
In 1982.
1982, why that sentence should be carried out. I mean, this is rather
Yes.
an unusual it's a long time that someone's sitting on death row. I can't think of anybody who's been on death row that long and hasn't been executed, right?
Yes, that's true. You know, Steve, I just think so often people forget about the victims.
Yeah.
People forget about the person who is murdered.
Right.
My husband was 25 years old. He was a young police officer. We had our whole life to live together. He was in college. We bought a house. We were saving money to buy a house up in the Poconos. We were so much in love. We were thinking of starting a family. And that night, I kissed him goodbye, never to see him again.
Tell us what happened that night.
Well, on December 9th, 1981, Danny Faulkner, who was my husband, he was working as a police officer in Philadelphia, the midnight to 8 in the morning shift. And at 4 a.m., he stopped a Volkswagen for a traffic violation. In the car was a gentleman by the name of William Cook.
The brother of the convicted killer?
Yes, the brother of Mumia Abu-Jamal. At the time, he did call for backup. He got out of the car, he walked up to William Cook. William Cook got out of his Volkswagen. They spoke for several minutes. At one moment, and 4 eyewitnesses did see this, William Cook punched my husband in the face. My husband had a flashlight in his hand. He struck William Cook across the ear, turned him around, and started to frisk him. When he did, Mumia Abu-Jamal, his brother, was in a taxi cab across the street. And this is at 4 a.m. in the middle of the night. Ran across the street, shot my husband in the back. My husband turned, shot him in the stomach, fell to the ground, and lost his gun. And at that moment, Mumia Abu-Jamal leaned over my husband and emptied his gun into him, leaning down and shooting my husband practically point blank between the eyes. The bullet lodged in his brain.
Now,
And I have to tell you, so often I think of, during the ballistics testimony in court, I look and I saw the evidence of my husband's clothing, and I saw the holes in his police jacket and his shirt.
Yes.
And I thought, the last moments of my husband's life, he was writhing from side to side trying to avoid these bullets as this man was shooting upon him. And people need not to forget that.
Now, soon thereafter, there were many other Philadelphia police officers on the scene, correct?
Yes, 70 seconds after.
And they found the defendant, the convicted killer. They found him with the gun, correct?
Yes, Mumia Abu-Jamal was sitting on the curb with his gun next to him. He actually tried to pick it up and point it at one of the officers, and the officer kicked it.
Yeah, so
away from him.
they arrive at the scene. It's like seconds, after the murder, the execution has happened.
The scene is frozen in place.
Why is it so important for you to see the convicted killer of your husband executed?
Because I feel that in 1982, a jury of 12 people convicted Mumia Abu-Jamal to first-degree murder and to death. And I feel the sentence should be carried out. I feel our justice system is so that murderers have a voice in this world.
Yes.
I mean, Mumia Abu-Jamal has done commentaries. He still does commentaries to this day on KPFK. He's written books. There has been movies made about him. And I personally feel he has made millions of dollars off the blood of my husband. And I must say, I just want to let you know that 100% of the author's proceeds from this book we have given to a 501c3 for children who have lost their parent from murder. And on December the 10th, we handed $170,000.
Wow. So you're not in it for the money?
No, I have not taken a penny for this book.
This is a mission.
This is a mission.
In this book, it documents some irrefutable evidence that shows that Mumia is guilty. Absolutely. What is some of that irrefutable
Beyond a
evidence?
shadow of a doubt.
What
There
is
were
that
4
evidence?
eyewitnesses that saw Mumia Abu-Jamal murder my husband. The gun, Mumia Abu-Jamal had an empty shoulder holster on him. He had a 5-shot revolver with him that night that was empty. And in the gun was a +P bullet, which was a very high velocity bullet.
Yeah.
So Mumia Abu-Jamal purchased these bullets for a reason.
Yes.
If he shot someone,
They
he
were
wanted
dead.
to kill them.
Yeah.
He had a deep-seated hatred for police.
Yeah.
Many years before he murdered my husband.
Now,
He is a dangerous, evil man.
No, I understand he is, before this, he was a part-time journalist or something, wasn't he?
Yes, he was for
So he's an
WHYY.
articulate kind of a guy.
Yes, he is.
Who's kind of used the system, hasn't he?
Yes, he has used the system. He's also gotten his bachelor's degree and his master's degree why he has been behind bars. And it just bothers me so much because my husband was in college when he was murdered.
Yeah.
And my husband's voice has been taken from him, yet Mumia Abu-Jamal still lives and his voice is still heard.
I understand he has never denied killing your husband, right?
He has kept his silence somewhat. In the emergency room that evening in Thomas Jefferson Hospital, he was taken there, and it was the same hospital my husband was taken to. And he was boasting, "I shot the MFer, and I hope he dies."
Hi, I want to thank you for joining us on the Insider Exclusive. You can get more information at www.insiderexclusive.tv. I'm Steve Murphy. Thank you.